Welcome back, everyone. The November election is rapidly approaching, and when you hit the polls, there will be a series of bond questions for you to vote on. General obligation bonds are one strand of revenue for capital projects that Bernalillo County uses and leverages to get more funding from the state. I spoke with Lisa Manuel, interim director at the Bernalillo County Fleet and Facilities Department, to talk specifically about general obligation bonds question number 2, something you'll see on the ballot come November. Joining us this morning, we have Lisa Manuel. She's the interim director for the Bernalillo County Fleet and Facilities Department. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us, Lisa. We have an upcoming election, and routinely voters are asked to say yes or no to bond questions. We are going to be talking about one specific bond question that's coming up in November. For our viewers at home who are not familiar with this bond question, can you tell us what it's called and what it's for?
So this bond question is for upgrades to our existing fleet and facilities. The biggest needs belong to existing county facilities, and they consist of ongoing building system upgrades, such as the replacement of heating, ventilation, and air conditioning systems, or lighting and electrical upgrades. These types of improvements significantly reduce operating costs by reducing the energy use, water use, unscheduled shutdowns, and repairs. They also extend the life of our county buildings. As our county grows, we need additional public safety personnel, and this growth means new or expanded facilities are needed to meet that demand. Finally, a portion of this funding will be used to bring existing county buildings into compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act. One other thing that we are asking for in this question is to replace aging and worn vehicles and heavy equipment. Excessive maintenance and repair costs don't make the cost of owning all of our current vehicles higher than the cost of a new vehicle. Vehicle reliability also increases, meaning the county employees can be where they need to be to serve the public and maintain the road network.
Now, Lisa, this bond question that we're talking about is $13.45 million. Some of our viewers may be asking, because bond questions are kind of difficult to understand, where does the money come from? And if I say no, what happens then? If I say yes, then what happens?
So the money is very similar. When the public votes yes on a bond question, it's important to know that it does not increase your taxes. It's very similar to taking out a loan, like a mortgage on your house. So we are asking for the bond allocation is money that we can pay back. If you vote no, then we essentially don't get the mortgage and we don't make the needed improvements. If you vote yes, then we have a list of buildings and fleet purchases that we are able to purchase.
Let's talk about some of those buildings. You mentioned before we started this interview that there are 13 buildings on the list that could potentially see upgrades with this bond question if voters agree to it. Tell me the top 3.
Okay, so the biggest allocation would be to the Metropolitan Detention Center sanitary sewer system. The system is woefully undersized and it's outdated and it's frequently shut down. And we estimate the cost of that upgrade to be $2 million. Another instance is the allocation of $1.6 million for the Youth Service Center. The Youth Service Center is a very heavily used regional facility and it operates 24/7. It needs upgrades to the heating, ventilation, and air conditioning system and the electrical and lighting systems. Basically, that facility needs all the building systems upgrades. Another example is the old jail at 415 Roma will be demolished. We already have the funding for that. But if bond question number 2 passes, we'd like to use $800,000 to construct a secure parking lot for public safety. There are a plethora, about 13 other buildings that are smaller in scale, but they include community centers, the county courthouse, and public safety facilities that are slated for some building system upgrades.
The money would also help with some of the fleet. Can you give us examples as to, what type of vehicles we're talking about and who would be utilizing those vehicles?
Um, the 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 fleet allocation would go to the sheriff, the general fleet, and then also heavy equipment that maintains our roads.
For our viewers who are thinking, I just need a little bit more information before I make my decision come November, where can they find that information?
Yeah, the best way to get more information is to go to www.burnco.gov and click on the Capital Improvement Program tab, and then all of the bond questions are there, and the allocations are summarized.
Again, before I let you go, Lisa, this is bond question number 2, and it will be on the ballot come November.
That's correct.
Okay. Lisa, I want to thank you so much for joining us this morning. Some great insight, and hopefully it will help some of our voters make a decision come November.
Thank you very much.